So today we thought we'd throw in something different. We thought we would do a little kind of debate, so our little opinions on
anything.
On anything. So yeah, we'll try to do these as frequently as we can, but obviously because I'm going to be in Manchester and they're down in London, it's not going to be as frequent as we want. So today we're going to be talking about extended secondary school hours and the need or the want to increase the amount of homework given.
Basically, she has some dude. Did he come to your school or
No,
it was
his
in the news?
daughter.
No. Basically, he's the minister or ambassador of education.
And he's sending his daughter to Abigail's school. And his ideal is basically extending school hours from like 7 until 4:35, which I just think is ridiculous. My personal opinion is you've been in school from 7 o'clock. I know if you do work and you work from, the average working shift is 7 till 4, 3 o'clock you're tired. What are you going to be taking in as young students at 4, 5 o'clock in the evening? And then they want to give you homework on top of that to go home? It doesn't make sense to me. And not being funny, if you are going to have school out for that long, you dare not give my child homework. No, but I'm not being mean. You've been in school from 7, so you're up by a minimum 5 o'clock, an hour to get ready, leave the house for 6, get to school for 7, then you're going to be in school till 4:35. You get home for 6, right? You need your dinner, so you eat dinner, change out your clothes by 7:30. You realistically need to be in bed by 9 o'clock to do, to get a good night's rest. How are you going to fit homework in that as well? It don't make no sense. And that's for those who live an hour away from school. What if you're coming from further?
I think it's a bit unnecessary because schools now, like my school for instance, we do a 8:30 till 3:30, and I feel like we learn quite a lot in our 6 lessons. But then to make it longer, I think the idea is to have like the last hour of school to be physical exercise, so make sure we do get out exercise a day. But I feel like by the time I've had all my lessons, I'm just going to be tired.
You're going to want to run around if you've been up at 7 o'clock.
And like,
well, you're going to be up from 7, more than 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
You're going to get to school for 7
o'clock. You'll be just running on a lot of adrenaline. I don't think you'll actually take in. You'll be like a bunch of juice and sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
what's the introducing caffeine to the school
menu. That would be in your school menu, a can of Red Bull a day to keep the students awake.
In my opinion, the only way I could see it as good if they increase the variety of what they're learning. Like, for me personally, like the things that they learn in school.
So I'd love to be in school from 7 o'clock till 4.
It's not that I love to be in school for 7 o'clock. I wouldn't mind if the case that I'm learning stuff that's going to apply to me in later life. So yeah, you learn your maths, your history and stuff. That's great. But I just feel that maybe if you've got extended hours, you could throw in something like politics.
Oh, we were talking about this the other day, weren't we?
Yeah, politics. Or maybe first aid training, because those are real stuff in life that you might be exposed to. Whereas if you're learning history, like I'm not against historians because I love me some history. But
how does that affect your day-to-day life?
Day-to-day life. Politics. You're going to have these children at 18 coming out of schools and they're going to be voting, but they don't know what they're voting for because there's never actually been someone to tell them or to explain like,
what it's all about.
What's a party and what's it all about. So if you're increasing the hours and then trying to get the kids from young to like know about this, then yeah,
you should think they should have a relatable studies.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Yeah, but if not, then
that does make sense.
There's no point.
But I just on the whole I don't really see it being a good idea. Because realistically, do you really think they would do something like that in our curriculum? I don't. No. It doesn't really benefit them in the long run. Like the government, if everyone was too knowledgeable, it wouldn't work. Do you see what I mean? But on the whole, I don't think school should be extended from 7 till 5 or 7 till 4:30. And you've got to remember, you're still kids. You still have to enjoy your youth. Given you working hours from the age of 11, you're going to feel like you've been working for your whole life. There's no sense of enjoyment. Do you see what I mean? And as I was saying before, you're in school from 7 till 5. That's an extra 4 hours on your extra school day. You'll have to increase your breaks. So you'll need an extra 2 hour, roughly like 2 half-an-hour breaks, and an hour break. That's 2 hours. So you're in school for 10 hours. You're learning for 8 hours, but on you only get an extra 2 hours study. Is it's not really worth it at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's
It's-
like 2 hours.
Unless they're
a week.
doing like intense periods, and let's say you get a longer weekend, so it's intense study, and then you get
Oh,
like
so you go
3-day
to-
weekend,
oh,
and then
okay.
intense for 4 days, and then 3-day weekend.
so you go to school like Monday to Thursday.
Yeah.
I
Oh
don't
my
think that would
gosh, there'll be
happen.
more ragamuffins on the road. Sorry guys.
I don't think that would actually happen. Like, give us longer holidays.
You
I
don't
think
think-
they want to keep us
In school.
in school, so we're not like doing.
So basically, are they
In
trying to
outside
extend the school
hours,
to
yeah.
combat the youth
Yeah,
issues
probably.
of today?
Ebenezer
That's
School.
no, I don't think that's right. What about this whole homework issue? Do you think homework
I
should be
think-
allowed or stopped?
I think homework is quite important because it kind of because like once you've done like if you didn't have homework, so let's say I'm in maths, I'll learn it, but then when I have homework, I then do it again without my teacher's help. So it then really tells you if I know how to do
Yeah, or
that
not?
maths work or not. So I think homework is needed, but if the fact that you have 6 lessons or 8 lessons a day, depends how your school works. Then if you have homework from each of those lessons, it's kind of like have 8 homeworks due in. This is like in GCSE time, they normally do the next day or the next 2 days. It's kind of like how do I fit that all in? Plus getting like my 8 hours sleep, plus having dinner and breakfast and all my meals. How can I fit that all in and do my work with homework? So I just feel like homework is needed, but I think they overdo it with the amount of homework.
See, like when I was in school, I never ever felt that I never felt pressure from getting my homework in. I didn't feel like my deadlines were too close or they overlapped. If they overlapped, it was my fault because I left my homework to the last minute. So I don't know if from my day to your day homework has increased, but I would not know homework. I actually believe it's when if you know something. As Abigail said, it gives you a chance to do it by yourself. And it's the extra learning. It's like with anything you need to learn, even when you're in uni or even in college, it's a case of what you learn in the classroom is just never enough. You need to go home and do that own personal
But
study.
then I think it's the like amount of content that they then give you.
It needs to be regulated
Yeah,
properly.
so therefore they give you half an hour. If they're giving you 6 pieces of homework a day to do for the next like 3 days or 2 days, then it should be a 20-minute piece of homework or something like that, rather than you having to put all your hard work in for an hour and a half, and you then have to multiply that hour and a half for 6, because then you don't have any time for yourself.
Oh, so you're saying basically if it's going to be a lot of homework, it needs to be short homework.
Yeah, there should be shorter.
But then you've got to also take into account that it might take you 20 minutes and then take another student not half an hour, like an hour or so, and then it's no longer feasible. So maybe they need to start doing homework where, I'm not going to say, how do I put it, like personally for each individual student, but that's really realistically
lot.
too much. But they need to make the boundaries for homework a lot more realistic, especially during GCSE time, because there's no point jam packing you with all this
But
information.
I feel like with GCSEs, it gets to the point where like your school tries to make it like as regular as possible, but the fact is that you have to know what you have to learn by a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
So if you have not learned what you have to learn in the lesson, sadly you're gonna have to do it for homework.
Yeah.
But then when that happens for like all of your lessons, it's kind of like
You got-
there's a lot of sadly you're gonna have to do it for homework.
Yeah.
But then
You get
kind
behind.
of get behind and
You got to think about on the teachers. Like, if you increase the amount of amount of homework, then there's gonna be an extra like let's say it takes half an hour for a teacher to mark a student's work thoroughly.
I'm sure if
and
I am
they've got to
correct,
do it
right, they don't even get half an hour per paper. If you ever wonder why teachers are so stressed, right?
oh yeah.
It's not okay. Fair enough. You can have a class full of bad students. Students don't make the situation better when all the children have left school and they've got to mark your papers.
Yeah.
The way their pay scale is that they're given literally, I'm not even sure, something like 5 minutes or something
Yeah.
ridiculous to mark each paper. But I'm not being funny, if you want to give that help to that student, it's going to take more than 5 minutes. But they're only paid to give, I don't know, I'm sure it's something like 2 minutes. Don't quote me on it. But it's something really ridiculous where like, okay, you've got 60 papers to mark and it should only take you 2 minutes to do each paper. How are you gonna dot the I's, cross the students' T's, tell them where
Yeah,
they
kind of like it would be like if you got the mark, okay, you didn't get the mark.
Yeah.
Because you got the mark, no,
and
you didn't
just
get the
increasing the amount of like homework you give to your class. Remember, a class is probably 30 students, and then you don't just teach that one class. You're teaching, let's say,
Another 4 or 5,
that
yeah.
day. So if you're doing that, that's like 150 things you have to mark. And if you want to increase the amount of time, and if it's supposedly 5 minutes, that's gonna cut it down to.
Well, then maybe in the ideal world, we would have more teachers.
But-
Not in a sense to teach more, but more people to do marking. Do you see what I
Like, you
mean?
have one teacher to mark and one teacher to teach.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of hard because if you want to get because that's what they do generally for exams, they
Yeah,
send your
they-
stuff off, and look how long it takes to get your stuff back.
Back. Fair enough.
So therefore, maybe it
Like
wouldn't
with
be
the
all the work.
GCSEs, the tech
Well,
and the
now
double
you know
check.
why teachers are always striking. And saying that, you increase, right? On the flip side, as an adult and as a parent, you increase the students' school hours from 7 till
okay.
5. As a teacher, you need to be in the school at least half an hour before
Yeah.
to plan your day, get your lesson prep, have your cup of tea, and then when the bell goes at the end of the day,
You're still there for
you're
like
still
an hour or
another
two.
there for another half an hour to make sure you can prep for tomorrow, your classroom's tidy. As a mum who's a teacher, where the hell do I see my family in that?
Yeah.
What time do I have to get up in the morning? How does my child get to school for 7 o'clock if I have to be in my own school for 6:30? You see what I mean? It's not just the student who is affected.
Guys, the camera died. So I think I was going to continue from where I left off, which I was basically saying, if you're a teacher and you have a child and school starts at 7, you normally, as a teacher, you want to get to school half an hour before your day. So you have to get to school for 6:30. What if you have a child? Even if your child doesn't need to go to school, your child is like 1-2 years old. Your child also has to be up for you to take them to whatever necessary childcare that they have to go
Which is
to.
also extra money now.
Which is extra money. And I doubt teachers are going to get that much of a pay rise if the hours were increased, because in the government side, you're going to be earning more money anyway because you're at school for longer, so you don't need a pay rise on top of that. So actually extending school hours, me personally, I think there are more cons than pros. Do you not agree?
Yeah. If anything, please let us know in the comment box what is your views on this.
Yeah, if you liked it, give us some more ideas.
Yeah, for things
To-
for us to discuss.
yeah.
That'd be great.
And it
as
could be
well.
anything, as long as, I'm sure everyone has an opinion on anything.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, we like to talk.
Just to let you know, our videos will now be regularly updating every Saturday. I'm going to try to do Bethany, me, then Abby, Bethany, me and Abby, but
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
If
and-
you lot don't like that, let us know. We'll try and change up a bit. And also, if we feel the need to randomly put up a video
yeah,
in the
because
week,
there are it'll be 3 weeks before, let's say Bethany will post.
yeah.
So if she finds out, I've got an idea to do something, and we'll post something randomly in the week.
Yeah.
But we'd just expect something from us every
It's
Saturday.
every Saturday.
All we have to say right now is
Comment, like, and subscribe.